Hi everyone, we are Team 4A, the Visioneers. As part of our topic, new inclusive approaches to learning and work, we're presenting our app, ChalkIt, a solution to a challenge many students face but rarely discuss. Now for our team members.
Hi, I'm Amrita.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Giada.
I'm Iris.
I'm just Mitho.
And I'm Roy.
And a huge shout out to our amazing mentor, Erica. This is me, Giada, a 16-year-old neurodiverse student with ADHD and anxiety. I have a 504 plan, but I still fall behind. My teachers are great, but with over 300 students, they don't always have the time or tools to check in with everyone. I remember in biology, I hesitated to ask questions because I didn't want to hold up the class. I failed multiple assessments and I felt embarrassed, so I stayed quiet and tried to keep up on my own.
So what's the problem? Students need support, teachers need tools. Students like Giada are falling through the cracks, not because teachers don't care, but because students are afraid to speak up and teachers don't always know. This isn't about blame, it's about recognizing that the current system doesn't give students or teachers what they need to succeed. Here's why this problem matters. When students, especially those with specialized learning needs, don't feel supported in class, they carry stress and embarrassment. Even brief confusion can snowball into major learning gaps. Teachers want to help, but with so many students, only those who speak up get support, leaving the rest silently struggling. This impacts both students and teacher success, especially in the crucial middle and high school years.
We knew this wasn't just Giada's story, so we surveyed a total of 78 middle and high school students about their feelings in the classroom. We also surveyed 16 teachers and parents of the students to better understand the holistic classroom experience. A majority of students said that they felt unheard in class. 90% even admitted to zoning out or falling behind. Aligning with student results, teachers also agreed. The two biggest challenges for students are asking for help and staying focused. 100% of teachers said they lacked a trusted tool to check in with students, with only 33% of teachers approaching the student privately about their needs and concerns. Finally, a majority of parents said their child becomes frustrated while doing homework, which is a direct correlation to not understanding the material taught in class, as shown in the parent testimony we received on the right. So, here is our solution, ChalkIt, an AI-powered app designed for all middle and high school students and their teachers. It serves as a centralized hub focusing on both students and teachers, which bridges the communication gap in the classroom. While ChalkIt is designed to benefit all students, it's especially impactful for neurodiverse learners by giving them a way to share their feelings and even to remind teachers of their learning accommodations without having to self-advocate out loud in every single class. The following features of ChalkIt were designed directly in response to the pain points of the students and teachers that we had found earlier in our surveys.
Now, let's start with some of student features. Students can check in with emojis to indicate their feelings, and even submit short anonymous responses about their concerns. It encourages honesty without fear of judgment. On the teacher side, ChalkIt uses AI to analyze responses and generate real-time reports, as well as graphs that show the overall mood of the class. Teachers can bypass the anonymous feature for student safety and well-being in case of an alarming responses. The teacher's streamlined dashboard saves time and helps teachers seamlessly integrate feedback into their teaching.
Now, let's take a look at the app demo.
When you open ChalkIt, you will be directed to either the student login or the teacher sign-up screen. Once a teacher signs up and logs in, they'll access the dashboard where they can generate a class code for students to use. After students log in and complete the survey, their responses are analyzed by ChatGPT and can be viewed by the teacher via the Generate Class Report button, giving a concise report with visuals. After class, teachers can discard old responses and keep each report specific to the current class. An additional screen displays individual, anonymous responses, which can be bypassed for real student names if necessary for student safety.
The edtech market was valued at $163.49 billion in 2022, and it's growing fast. This growth shows the demand for edtech solutions like ChalkIt. ChalkIt's inclusive design supports all students, giving it the potential for broad impact.
To gain an understanding of our competitors, we analyzed existing tools and surveyed teachers to identify gaps. Tools like Google Forms cover basic features like anonymous responses. Panorama education surveys even have AI reports, but they lack what truly matters: real-time teacher reports and daily usability when support is needed most to be effective. This comparison shows that classrooms need a smarter, more responsive tool, and that's exactly what ChalkIt delivers.
Our team looked at the ethical implications for 3 stakeholders: students, teachers, and parents. For students, it's a safe space to share needs and ensures fairness. For teachers, it reduces repetitive tasks, provides insights, and promotes bias-free tools. For parents, it offers a peace of mind and consistent support. Together, ChalkIt builds classrooms centered on autonomy, well-being, and fairness. Looking ahead, we see even more potential for ChalkIt. We can expand into the workplace by helping companies gather employee feedback, generate new ideas, and create a more inclusive and collaborative space. We also plan to expand globally into classrooms with multilingual and localized features. For students, gamification could be implemented to boost engagement with challenges and prizes from teachers. Furthermore, with the possible addition of Family Connect, parents will be able to receive updates about their child's journey.
ChalkIt isn't just a tool, it's a bridge that connects students, teachers, and families to build a classroom that's more supportive, more inclusive, and more effective. Because when we give everyone a voice and the right tools, we empower every learner and every educator to truly thrive. Thank you for your time. With ChalkIt, every voice can shine. Again, we are Team 4A, the Visioneers, and a special shout out to MIT Raise, App Inventor, and SureStart for all your support. We will now open the floor for Q&A.
Thank you, team. Judges, the floor is yours for the next 4 minutes.
Thank you so much for this amazing presentation. Very beautiful graphics and an excellent demo. I just wanted to check if what do you think is the share of the ad market that this solution would be able to gain?
So actually, I was looking at statistics, and I think it was in 2022 area, there was a lot of investors, and it was reaching like numbers like 32 billion. So I think that especially with investors and ed tech just skyrocketing, we could definitely get a lot of investors into our app. And another thing is we would totally want to collaborate with other apps like Class Dojo because they have the same incentive and they have the same goal in mind.
Thank you.
Amazing job. I thought that was a great presentation. As someone who has a company called IUTME, who thinks a lot about making sure students, particularly neurodivergent students, have access to tools to help them communicate, I absolutely love this idea. My question, I heard you all mention the idea of, future features around multilingualism, but how are you thinking about accessibility features for different types of students and their abilities to interface with technology? And how might you leverage artificial intelligence or just technology in general to think about students who may be deaf or hard of hearing, blind, or have other physical needs that might prevent them from being as successful with your app as is?
I think in the future, we could definitely implement text-to-speech and speech-to-text, especially for students with language processing difficulties or dyslexia. And we also mentioned in our future plans that we wanted to make it multilingual, so language translation options. And for students that may not be as well versed in AI and tech, we could definitely incorporate some manuals and things for students to go over to fully understand what the app is meant to do and how to make the best usage of it.
Yeah, hi everybody. Incredible presentation. Wow, the animations in the beginning and the storytelling was just so strong. I have a question for you just because I come from a product perspective at Masterclass, and just so curious, like if you had years and years to work on this, if you keep going with this initiative, which I think it's amazing, are there any features that you're dreaming of building or things in the pipeline on the roadmap that you're just thinking about and interested in going down that path?
Yeah, I can answer that question. So one major thing that we really wanted to invest our time in the future is adding a gamification feature where teachers are able to have prizes or challenges and badges to the students, which will be able to engage the students further. And we also have a statistic that actually proves our point to the reason why we want to use gamification. And a 90% of students engage better when they have a gamification feature on it. And that's our main reason why we want to target this feature.
Amazing, thank you.